Alrighty, and we are finally back into Master Duel Ranked Ladder. It's been a little bit of a while, but excited to get back into it with Sprights. We're on to Silver Tier 5, and this is actually the first level where we have to get 2 wins per level to rank up. So going to be doing a little more dueling for this one, working a little bit harder, but hopefully we should still be able to ladder pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Jotaro-san's first matchup, and I imagine we're going to be going second. Okay. Love the mate. Good choice. Good choice. Cyber Dragon Infinity is always a... I'd love to say a crowd pleaser, but certainly a me pleaser. Okay, pretty good going second opener. We drew into Gamma, which is basically the best hand trap in our deck. Let's see what our opponent has for us. Toggle on. No Max C. Yeah, don't worry about Max C. We also drew full combo, which is very nice. Blue and Jet definitely gets us there. So 2 back row to start us off. That is a little bit concerning. Do we have a Harpy's Feather Duster off the top? That'd be pretty nice. We don't. Ooh, we have probably the worst draw in our deck off the top, actually. Okay, so this is a little bit of an interesting start. We're going to go Swap Frog, use its effect, and if it does get negated, that would be great. Ooh, no response from our opponent. Interesting. So we may still be on a little bit of a lower... I mean, we're in silver, so we can probably crank through these pretty quick. We shouldn't be expecting too much interaction from our opponent here. I actually am going to go into Carrot this time. Normally we'd go red here, but we obviously want to get the Spell Trap negate up on board. So do that. We'll get Jet here. We can actually get all 4 of them, which is kind of funny. Smashers for removal of the other card might be nice, but we can pretty easily jump around. I suppose it would make sense to just get red on board as well on the off chance our opponent had Nibiru. We'll just cover ourselves completely with all kinds of hand traps here. Now, if our opponent has an Ash for us, oh, okay, they don't. They don't. All right. Take the 1200 from red. Okay, so we're under a Spell Trap negate and a Monster Effect negate, so let's get off to the races here. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I think we are locked into level 2s. That's okay. How about we get... let's go into Elf here to start. We'll use our blue, which we mistakenly summoned in defense there. A little bit of an oopsie, but that's okay. We'll get Elf. Use Elf's effect immediately. We'll get back our second Swap Frog. Get lots of free material on board. We'll dump a second Swap Frog. And we'll banish that Swap Frog for Ronin Totem. Okay, I mean, we certainly opened fantastically. This isn't, I was going to say, this wouldn't happen to be lethal on board, would it? That would be pretty funny. Now, interestingly enough here, we could go into Gigantic using the Elf and Ronin Totem, actually, which would make it quite large, basically. And we detach the Ronin Totem, and we... Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm not super worried about targeting at this point. I am going to leave my extra monster zone open just because I think there's a chance we might need another link play here. Actually, I'm realizing I've zone locked myself doing this, so that's okay. We can put a lot of damage on board here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Let's go Phoenix this time, so we know for certain that we trade with one of the back row with our Carrot. Let's pitch this useless driver out of our hand, and we'll get rid of one of these. Dust Tornado. Okay, that wasn't going to be too valuable there. Okay, and we will make sure we detach Ronin Totem here, and we'll keep the Elf so we stay very, very large on our Gigantic. We've already used all of our Sprite names, so we'll get our last Swap Frog. This has a target? What's the target for this? I thought I already... I'm going to click this. This might be a mistake. It can send itself to the graveyard? That's pretty weird. Okay, that was a mistake. I didn't realize that. That's okay. I think we... How much damage do we have on board here? Locked into... Yeah, that was a big mistake. We would have definitely had lethal there. This is a lot of damage. I'm not super worried. Yeah, so we would have had lethal if we had just not tributed that Swamp Frog. Okay, a little bit of a mistake. That's all right. I actually am still going to... I could have had lethal a couple ways there, I'm sure, but that's okay. That's okay. We're learning. We got lots of fodder for our Ronin Totem, so we can basically... what we'll do here is we'll just go and we'll relink into Elf. We'll give our targeting protection to our carrot, and we'll have another interaction for our opponent on their turn. And actually, we'll even bring back Ronin Totem one more time just so we have tribute fodder for one of our negates. And then Elf can give us the second tribute fodder if we need it. So yeah, we got 3 negates. We definitely screwed up. But that's okay. That's okay. We're still... I just sat down to play some Master Duel for the first time in quite a little bit, and that's okay. Been playing a bit of a different deck in paper play that requires an entirely different thought process than this deck, so it's all good. But yeah, so we've got three negates and a search for basically our entire combo line here, so still feeling pretty okay. Let's see what, if anything, our opponent has for us. You have to be careful with some of these decks that potentially run lower tier cards, because some of them just run around with Dark Hole and Raigeki, and blowout cards like that can occasionally be quite problematic for us. Okay. Schwarzschild Limit Dragon. Interesting. Say level 8. And there's the... Hey! What did I tell you guys? Okay, so we are going to... activate Carrot. We're going to tribute Ronin Totem to negate. And then how about we chain Elf? And we'll get our blue back here. Thankfully our Carrot was target protected there, so on the chance this is a infinite impermanence, we'll still get our search. And even if it is, we actually have another pretty cool play we can do here, just to make sure we win. Okay, it wasn't. We're all good. We'll get Jet, so we have some good follow-up for next turn. And yeah, I imagine our opponent may try to go to... Oh, Shield Break. Target a defense position monster in the field and destroy it. You know, that's very funny. I am going to stop it just because this is a play we can make. So what's happening here, for those of you who don't know, Infinite Impermanence negates all spell traps in the same column as it if you activate it after it was set. So we can turn off that card just for fun from our opponent. And yeah, they're probably just going to go Battle Phase and destroy it anyway, or destroy any of our monsters. If they had gone for red here, that would have been... a little concerning. I am wondering if one of their last couple cards happens to be like Mirror... Oh, okay. Nope, they don't even have any back row. So that's probably going to be it. We can immediately go to combat here, I think. Actually, no. The smart play to do would be to summon Jet and search Smashers on the off chance that they have some kind of interaction for us. Then we can just remove it, basically. Change blue to attack, and I could use Elf here, but actually I will use Elf here. We'll get Carrot back just so we have our interruption live. I won't skip the steps here. There we go. Okay, we got a monster effect negate, spell trap negate. Let's not waste any more time here. I'm sure Jotaro would like us to wrap this up at this point. Let's go battle phase and game. Easy. Okay, so a little bit of a screw up there. I definitely should have managed my zones a little bit better than I did, but that's okay. That's okay. We walked away with a pretty clear win there. So let's keep powering on through here. On to the next game. And if we win one more time, we get our rank up here. Gimmick. With the Ancient Gear Dragon, I believe. Mate. we'll go first. Oh, they committed to the whole field. They got the Ancient Gear field and everything. Awesome. Blue and Jet and 3 hand traps. Wow, we've really got the whole squad here. So this is going to look a little bit strange off the bat because I'm going to be summoning Jet as our starter. Technically I could have used Max C there, but I think Max C is good enough value for us to keep here. Okay, let's get red to hand. I could have got Jet there. I don't know why I did that. I just lost 2 cards worth of value. But I'm under a monster effect negate now, so that's okay. Let's fix this out. Here's one benefit of Sprite for those of you who are maybe new to Master Duel. Thankfully, this is a very forgiving competitive deck that actually gives you a lot of leeway with stuff like this. Let's detach blue. And then, so here, we could summon Swap Frog and dump Ronin Totem, and unfortunately we... actually, yeah, let's do that, because that will give us more fodder here. Summon Swap Frog, send Ronin Totem to grave. I'm gonna link these 2 off. I'm realizing my zoning for my red could have been a little bit better. That's okay. I am actually gonna summon this over here on the off chance we have to play around some Mech Knights in this game, which, for those of you who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has some other cards where you are... Oh, I could fix my problem here. Actually, I'm gonna do that. We're gonna correct our error. Yes, we're gonna miss out on an extra Ronin Totem use, but let's be real. Having an interaction for our opponent's turn is probably a fair bit better. So let's do that. And I am going to get started. I'm going to put up our carrot negate as well, just so we're not going to get blown out by some of those random, Dark Hole, Raigeki style cards. Okay, so there we go. And I can actually put one more level 2 on the field. Interesting. So we can just turn our Ronin Totem into tribute fodder here, or we can link it off into IP Masquerena. We're basically going to have to use our elf immediately there, and that's... Oh. So right now we have basically 2 extra bodies worth of negates that don't really hurt us in any way if we use them, so that's pretty nice. I am going to set infinite impermanence here. Just thinking if IP is a better play here, because I mean obviously we'd love to potentially be able to go into Unicorn, Appaloosa on our opponent's turn. That would obviously be quite nice. Just the sequencing gets a little bit awkward if we do that. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm not too scared of our opponent, so this might be a little bit of a greedier play, but that's okay. We'll go with IP. We've got 2 hand traps. You know what? I'm even going to... This may not be the correct play, but I'm even going to... I'm pretty sure Ancient Gear has like some mechanisms to freely special summon. Maybe, no, I'll hold it. We'll play good. We're trying to learn here. I won't just throw away some cards at the wall. We'll hold our Max C for when it's relevant for our opponent. Toggle on. So we have our responses. Let's see what they have for us. Hopefully they're not playing too many crazy board clear cards. Elf doesn't even lock us into level 2s, right? Yeah, it sure doesn't. It's no wonder Elf got banned in the TCG. Elf is honestly a absolutely crazy card. They're thinking, okay, set 1. That's not too scary here. Technically, this could be a Cyber Dragon, so this is going to look a little bit strange to you guys, I imagine. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use Elf's effect. get our blue search. We're actually going to chain IP. And we're going to summon. Interesting, we could make Appaloosa pretty easily here. Not super worried about that. I'm more worried about just, do I have a good discard here? Yeah, I think I do. Let's just go. It's just, we'll keep Elf on the field so we get some targeting protection here. We'll get our search. And then we can, let's get Pixie. Let's just get a random discard here because we should have pretty much everything. And then we'll go Unicorn. We'll discard Pixies. And we'll spin our opponent's card back to their deck. Little bit of an overly cautious play there. Ooh, Monster Reborn targeting my monsters? Interesting. What's their target here? Gigantic, maybe? It is gigantic. Okay. So this is going to look a little bit strange. I'm actually not going to stop this because we're not super worried about our opponent taking our monster here. It's basically just going to be a useless big body for them. Yeah. So we get a free draw off of Max C when they do this. Max C into Max C, sure. Sure. Now, if they had an extra deck, I'd be a little more worried about this. Oh, okay. Piercing battle damage. Okay. Not worried about that. Definitely have a little bit of interesting. Okay, battle phase, and what's the attack target here? It's probably Elf, I would imagine. It is Elf, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Not too worried about that. You're not going to believe this. I actually am super happy we Maxed there because, honestly, I would have hated drawing Maxi for next round. Hoping we don't see our third one right now. We don't. We do see a pretty useless card, honestly. Well, our opponent has no interaction on the field, so we are just going to go into pretty much our normal plays here. I'm a little more worried about a hand trap than a spell trap at this point. Oh, I have to use both of these. You know what? It's time for Maxi to pull its weight here. It's time for Maxi to pull its weight here. I love that that's a play in this deck. It's so funny. It's gigantic. We will detach our carrot, which we might be able to get back later. Actually, we should be able to very easily. Swap Frog. Summon our Swap Frog. Get our last Swap Frog from deck to grave. We'll get our Ronin Totem. I'm actually thinking we're probably going to end up keeping our Gigantic on the field just for damage at this point. Take these two off for Elf. This time we will put it over here. Use Elf's effect. We'll get back our blue. And at this point, you guys should probably be seeing why this deck is so strong, just because it has, even if you go weird play lines, like I'm definitely doing this time around, you can immediately tell that from a monster economy standpoint and a spell trap economy standpoint, you are you're really gaining a ton over the course of a turn, right? You absolutely have access to just so many resources here. It's kind of crazy. Now the age-old question: do we have lethal here? So we've got 600, 11, 17, and 16, 27, 34, 44, 54, 60. So we're 700 short. So we're probably going to have to smashers this away and use... yeah, I think we're just going to Smashers. We're going to banish. I'm not worried about our Graveyard Elf. And banish and a card your opponent controls. Now here's the question. What do we banish? I'm actually going to banish blue here. So that's the least amount of damage we really have to work with here. We can Ronin Totem one more time, and I think we can max out on damage that makes this lethal if it isn't already. Because should be able to go into an old friend of ours, Sky Cavalry Centauria. And that should be game, I believe. And it is. And just like that, 2 wins in Silver 5. Alrighty. There's our level up. On to Silver 4. Got our 100 gems. And we are... oh, and a couple of prizes and goodies. And there we are. On to the next tier. So let's go next. On to Silver 4. Oh, we got the True King of All Calamities icon. Hopefully we don't run into a calamity in this duel. Hopefully we aren't a calamity to ourselves going down wrong play lines and forgetting to go into Sprite Jet. Somehow. Don't know how I managed to pull that one off. Okay. This looks like a bad hand in a way because we drew so much stuff that isn't Sprites, but starter alone gets us our whole combo. And we had Called by the Grave, so this is actually kind of an insane hand, in a way. This is maximum resources with minimum commitment in the hand. Now what's interesting here is that we can actually go back into our starter for next turn. If we want to have kind of a follow-up play, we should be able to get into one of our negates for sure. And we could use starter basically to get into the other one. So if we go red, we can get carrot. If we go carrot, we can get red. Or we can get smashers for the removal. This is going to look a little bit wacky, but I'm actually going to get starter, and we'll set it for the turn, and we'll use it for that. Now, I don't think our opponent actually has anything at this point, so we're probably just going to go off to the races here. Blue. And we will get... actually, this would be the part where we do get carrot, potentially. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's get... and we'll actually do our zoning properly this time. We'll normal summon our Swap Frog. Use its effect. Send our Ronin Totem. Go into... ooh, wrong one. Although that's kind of a cute play. Not going to do IP first this time. We want to maximize on our value, and we got to use our unfair cards to do that. We'll go Elf. We'll bring back our Swap Frog. We'll do it again. Actually, interestingly, I just realized with that that pop up, we did draw into our Ghost Spell. We're only playing one of with that, so a little bit of a almost like a little bit of a surprise hand for us this time around. Because we're seeing some cards, and the one of Called by the Grave. Or sorry, no, Called by the Grave's at 2 in Master Duel, excuse me. Okay. So, we've got all kinds of monsters at this point. This is the part where we could go into IP, if we would like. And actually, yeah, I think we'll do that because that gives us a really nice play, since we can immediately get back our Ronin Totem for extra material. for either our negate or to turn into a unicorn or potentially even a gigantic Appaloosa. Put that in defense. Set 1, set 2, and over to our opponent. So just about the only thing this loses to is a massive board breaker, again, like Raigeki or Lightning Storm or Dark Hole, unfortunately. Oh, interesting. So our opponent is on Eldritch, and I'm actually quite familiar with what this this deck does. So this is going to summon, potentially, if they happen to have the fusion materials, a very large boss monster, which would be quite challenging for us to remove from the field. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to use Starter here. And, oh wait, hold on. Also for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. This would be the part where we potentially make a big boss monster. Or we just make Unicorn. Yeah, let's actually do that. Get our blue. Get our blue. We will make... Actually, we could just make... no, that's okay. Yep. And we'll do that and this. I think we will actually discard the Ghost Bell here, and we'll get our carrot as well. Going to go... we do have to discard for cost here, which is a little bit sad, but that's okay. We are going to lose a hand trap. We'll be all right. The Ash has a lot of value against Eldritch. We can actually hold Ash for cards like Scarlet Sanguine, which are incredibly powerful special summon from deck effects. We'll get our Jet for our follow-up on our turn. I'm still feeling pretty good in this position. We do have basically 4 interactions up for our opponent, so... well, as stated, the blowout cards would be the problem, but fortunately we planned for that. Now, if they have 2, we're in trouble. Hey, it's Eldritch. And what are we discarding for our other card? So... here's a little lesson for you guys about how to play against Eldritch. And at this point, the game is over. Because Eldritch now cannot use its effect for the current and next turn, which is the entire deck, and our opponent, understandably, conceded the game on that one. Legitimately, cards like Called by the Grave and even things like DD Crow and like other kind of hand traps like that help you just remove cards from the graveyard. Those are pretty much auto wins versus Eldritch, so a little bit of teaching tip for you guys on how to counter that deck. It is an incredibly powerful, grindy back row deck, but with the right tools, you can get through it pretty easily. But yeah, on to our next game. And hopefully another win, because that will put us into Silver 3. I will say, so far the duels have been pretty chill, pretty relaxed. I do want to just shout out a genuine Eldritch matchup. It was probably what I consider our first real foray into, Rogue, basically, for like real decks that are, competent, consistent, reasonably competitive, that kind of thing. So that was pretty good. Okay, what a hand. This is probably one of the worst hands we've drawn so far. It does, weirdly enough, get us there. It does get us there. on Jet. Activates effect. We are going to get starter here because we really need to, with a starting draw of normal summon maxi, we really do have to kind of max out on our availability of our bodies, basically. Get red on the field, so we got a little bit of protection here. We're going to go into Gigantic, and let's use Blue and Maxi, which is very, very funny, I gotta say. Always so funny that you can just use Maxi in this way for this deck. Okay, there's Gigantic, and we'll detach the blue in case we need to bring it back. We will actually summon Swap Frog. Now, Swap Frog's effect is we can special summon from hand when we can return it from... Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Swap Frog. Just in case you thought drawing Ronin Totem was a potential break, it's actually the opposite. It's actually better. And there we have it. We have all the fodder in the world we could possibly want at this point. So let's go ahead and get our elf on the field here. And let's see here. I do think we're going to get back a Ronin Totem because we have all 3 Swap Frogs in the grave. We're going to be basically just climbing our way up to everything we need here. And then we're going to make... we could go into IP immediately. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. Let's see. Do we have... Sorry, what else can we bring back here? Elf. So we're not going to accidentally bring back Swap Frog and have it send itself. That wouldn't be very good. You might be wondering why I'm doing this now, and it's just because I really want to make sure we keep an extra tribute fodder on the field for our opponent, if they, on the off chance they happen to have something for us. Because red is going to have to tribute one of our monsters if we come to that point. At this stage, we get another Ronin, and we can get one more if we need it. I'm not sure if we do. Actually, we might have to here. Might have made a bit of a mistake because we'll want to get our blue back into grave for our turn. Or, it's not too bad. We can just reborn Jet, obviously. We are going to set call by for sure. Oh, wow. Okay, I think I might actually know what our play is for next turn. I think we are making a massive Appaloosa that can't be destroyed by card effects for our opponent's turn. A 3-negate Appaloosa. Yeah, that seems like the play. Okay. So we're going to leave it at that. Unfortunately, again, this board is quite weak to board breakers. That just kind of tends to be the state of where we're at right now. Now, our opponent did make us go first, which is a little concerning if they're playing a bunch of board breaker cards. Oh, okay. So we're on Blue Eyes, which is actually kind of interesting because... let's see here. We can tribute blue for this. And we're actually going to chain elf to get blue back. And that's how we play around potentially missing our blue search by accident. Oh, we're not going to do that quite yet. Get our blue search. We'll have our Jet for next turn. And that's all she wrote. Okay, sometimes you just negate one monster and your opponent concedes. I mean, that's Blue Eyes. I love Blue Eyes as a deck, but I will acknowledge consistency is kind of a big problem for them. But with that, we're on to Silver Tier 3. We get our 100 gems, a couple more goodies, and we'll get over to the next round. So what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more awesome content like this. See you guys in the next video.